بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My name is Rian Mahmud. Today I'm going to tell you a story about Musa alayhi salam, and the story name is Allah Speaks to Musa. So let's start our story. Bismillah. About 3,000 years ago, Egypt was ruled by a cruel king whose name was Firaun or Pharaoh. And an Egyptian told Firaun that a year of a boy would be born and the boy would destroy Firaun and his kingdom. Then Firaun became enraged and he ordered his soldiers to kill all the newborn boys. And the Bani Israel was also handed by Pharaoh, and the Bani Israel kept seeing their own sons dying, and they had to feel so much crying and sad. Only their daughters were alive. And in the meantime, there was a pious woman, and her name was Yukabid, and she gave birth to a beautiful boy whose name was Moses or Musa or Zeus. So Allah inspired her to put Musa alayhi salam in the box and put the box in the river Nile, and it will go by water waves. And Musa alayhi salam had an elder sister, and her sister's name was Maryam, and Maryam kept watching until the box stopped in the bank near the royal palace. And the box was picked up by a car and householder of Pharaoh's householder, and the householder took the basket and gave it to the queen, wife of Pharaoh, and the queen's name was Asiya. Asiya looked at Musa alayhi salam and she exclaimed, "Wow, what lovely boy! Whoever sees him cannot stop loving him." I mean that whoever sees him, they cannot stop loving him. So, and the queen also rejected the king's option, and she decided to keep the baby as her own child. And one day, Pharaoh saw that Asiya had a child is a male, and then he ordered, "Why do you have that boy?" Asiya ordered, "This is a beautiful boy. I want to keep him." Then Pharaoh ordered her that I should get some like what do you call a test that is he going to destroy my palace and me, or is he a good boy? Let's test it. Then Pharaoh told Asiya to put down Musa alayhi salam in the ground, and there was two places. One place was full of gold, and another place was full of hot, glowing fire rocks. And Musa alayhi salam ran to the. If Musa alayhi salam touched the gold, then then Musa alayhi salam would kill Pharaoh and his palace. And if Musa alayhi salam touched the fire coals, and then Pharaoh will think that he's a good boy. Then when Musa alayhi salam crawled to the gold, then Pharaoh and his soldiers picked up a sword to hurry to kill him. In the meanwhile, Allah took Musa to the fire, and Musa alayhi salam took a coal and put it in his mouth, and he started crying. And Musa alayhi salam became like, what do you call? Cannot talk like, and he also talked like this. I cannot do this. And he used to talk like this because his mouth was burned by a fire coal. Then Firaun picked up him and gave him some water and milk to drink. And in the meanwhile, that Asiya could not give breastfeed, so she ordered all of the nurses. The nurses did not give Musa alayhi salam did not take the milk from the nurses. Then you guys remember that Maryam, sister of Musa, was kept watching on the box, and she was roaming around the palace that what happened. And then she go to the queen Asiya and told her that I know a woman who could breastfeed him. Then the queen and the nurses called that, go, get her, bring her here, or he cannot drink. Then Maryam ran to her mother and told her about it. Her mother was very worried and sad. Then when she heard the good news, then she hurry up to go to the palace and give breastfeed to Musa alayhi salam. And Musa alayhi salam started drinking. Subhanallah. Then the king Firaun asked that, why did Musa alayhi salam drink your milk? Then her mother replied that, my milk is sweet and yummy, so no baby could refuse it. When Musa alayhi salam grew up, he saw two men fighting, which was an Egyptian and another one was an Bani Israel. The Bani Israel his hands were tied up with rope and feet were also tied up with rope. And the Egyptian was beating the Israel with his staff, and the Israel kept crying, and the Egyptians, die. I don't care if you cry, you will be punished. Then Musa alayhi salam punched the Egyptian with his fist to the chest. Then the Egyptian died, and the Israel saw that and ran away. Then Musa alayhi salam accidentally killed an Egyptian. When the people heard about it, they go to the king and told that what happened, and Firaun ordered all of his polices to find out the killer. And when he found out the killer was Musa alayhi salam, and then a man of Bani Israel said to Musa that if you want to live, then run away. Firaun is ordered you to run away. Before this, another fight happened. The same Bani Israel that he saved from the Egyptian was beating him. The Egyptian died and the Bani Israel ran away. And the same Bani Israel guy was beating an Egyptian. Then Musa alayhi salam realized that, oh, this is a real troublemaker. And then the Israel guy saw him and got shocked and afraid. And then he asked him that, are you going to kill me? Then Musa alayhi salam, like he did like this. You are actually a troublemaker. Then Musa alayhi salam walked away, and then Bani Israel said that you are going to be killed by Pharaoh. Then he quietly left the Egypt and moved to Madian, where when he was traveling, he got super tired, and then he rested under a tree. He did not have money to buy food or water or shoes, something that he needed for his health, so he could survive. Then he saw two women waiting for their turn to take some water, and few shepherd men was taking water from a well. Musa alayhi salam asked them, why are you waiting here? There were two young women. One was an elder, one was a younger. The elder sister said that we are waiting for our turn. We are women and they are men. We cannot push them. Musa alayhi salam asked again that, why are you shepherding? Then the younger sister answered, our father is too old and do not have the strength to look after the sheep, so he told us to do it. Then Musa saw the girls were so kind and good. Then he was so powerful and strong that he pushed a rock and made a hole for the young women, and the water came from that place, and really fresh water, and the young women, get some water for their sheep and camels and cows. When after the animals were drink, then they moved to their house. Go to their house, and Musa sat under the tree again, after he pushed the rock in the same place. Then the elder sister had the two sisters had a father, and the father's name was Shu'aib alayhi salam, and the elder sister told her father what happened at the well. Why did they come so early? Then Shu'aib alayhi salam said that I go to the stranger and call the stranger as an invitation. I want to talk to him. Then the elder sister also said to Shu'aib alayhi salam that, Father, I should marry that stranger because if he marries me, then he could look after the sheep and the cows and camels. Then I could do some work at the house. Then Shu'aib alayhi salam agreed. Then the elder sister go to Musa alayhi salam and told what happened, that Shu'aib alayhi salam wanted to meet him, and he was invited to their house. Then when Musa alayhi salam entered their home, and then he was surprised, so beautiful and clean and shiny and comfortable home they had. Then Musa alayhi salam talked to Shu'aib alayhi salam and agreed to marry the elder sister Safawa, and the younger sister was Layya. So after they got married, then Shu'aib alayhi salam asked Musa alayhi salam so he could take care of the sheep and camels and cow for 10 years and look after Shu'aib alayhi salam and take good care of him for 10 years. After spending 10 years, Musa alayhi salam took his family and moved to Egypt. They were traveling slowly, and then it became night, and it became also cool, breezy, cold. It was so cold, like all of them wear strong dresses to keep warm. And Musa alayhi salam and their family were lost. Where are they? They did not know. And in the distance, Musa alayhi salam saw a tree was burning by a miracle. And then Musa alayhi salam said that, wait here. Look, I can see a fire burning in the distance. Perhaps we could get some worm we could worm ourselves. Then when they reached the place, Musa alayhi salam spoke to Allah. Allah spoke to Musa alayhi salam, and he gave him 2 miracles. And after that, Allah told him that he had chosen him as his messenger and commanded him to go to Firaun and told Firaun that he is not a god. Allah is the one God and he should worship Allah. And this is my story, and if you like to find out more, go to the Quran and look at the Surah Taha, and the story of Musa alayhi salam is not end. There is another part. I will tell it next time. So, Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.